House of Mirelle was open in the Yorkshire city of Hull in England between 1938 and 1978, and during that time the city was full of small retail outlets selling ladies' clothes and accessories, each having a style and culture of their own. Shoppers going in and out of its centre gave Mirelle a particular reputation amongst the others, like the shop called Irene Leonard that you'll see in the locations video, and Noel's Fashions, a small ladies' outfitters opposite City Hall, owned by Bobby Levine, who you see here talking to Molly Kidd and her husband Jimmy in this photo. In Hull, social connections like these made business work, particularly at the House of Mirelle, where you didn't have to be recommended by existing clients to shop there, but it was often your social standing or ability to pay that got you through the door. People who knew it thought Mirelle was posh, very, very posh. And in Hull, if you were seen with one of its bags, you'd really arrived. It was a status symbol, as well as showing you had great fashion sense. But clients like Maisie Parkes, Neil's mum, who became Lady Parkes in 1971 when her husband Basil was knighted by the Queen, felt it was their sanctuary, their requirements met in a place where money was no object and their needs were understood. It was not by accident that Mirelle had an exclusive reputation, enhanced by the fashions sold there, but also by Molly, Mira and the showroom girls, who we'll meet as we go along. Showroom girls is what they called each other back then and still do now. But first let's get to know Molly. The showroom was overseen by director and figurehead Mira Mountain. It was her gravitas that brought in clients, friends in her social circle, high-profile ladies like Maisie Parkes, who attracted attention to what they wore and when. Affectionately known as Mirrors, she ran it with crystal clear vision, and she and manager Molly Kidd led from the front. If you want to know more about Mira Mountain, watch the locations where you'll meet her in person. It's linked in the description box below. It's very unusual to find a photo of Molly like this one, as she was said to hate having her photo taken, unlike Bobby, who was comfortable on stage or on camera, and in the late 60s and 70s often commared, that means the person who narrates and gives audience information, at Mirelle's fashion shows. We'll hear more about fashion shows as we go along. Molly had a strong personality and was originally from Manchester, about 100 miles away from Hull. Described as the backbone of the shop by showroom staff, she inspired a mix of terror, respect and admiration from colleagues and clients. Molly became Mirelle's manager in the early 50s and also had a key role to play in bridging between the showroom and the workroom, the place the seamstresses worked. Subscribe for updates and you'll see immediately when the workroom talk is live, which contains lots of detail about the sewing they did there. A softer, kinder person. As a duo, Mira and Molly were usually present at Mirelle, but they weren't models, and although Mira's warm and friendly personality brought people through the door, they needed ladies on the shop floor who could greet customers, model clothes and sell. Welcoming in this exclusive environment, the showroom girls attended to their clients' wishes. They advised, dealt with transactions, suggested outfits, and modelled what was on sale. They were sales ladies, but were not only there to handle clothes and money. Crucially, they built relationships with clients in a manner said to be like personal shopping today, or clothing the royals, said one showroom girl. And in Hull, there were women we'll meet, like Neil Parkes' mum and his sister Angela, who were a bit like the royal family in the area and had a similar need to be clothed. Showroom girls didn't hold a formal qualification for working there, except for modelling, which you'll find out about as well as who trained where. But the demands of such an environment also required intelligence, fashion nous, style and people skills, as well as knowing the clients intimately to be expert at her job. Mira's theatrical background played out in creating this side of the business. It was almost her stage, welcoming clients into her front of house like it was a theatre, and she had a keen eye for presentation and what French fashion houses did, actively copying their style. Exclusively employing women throughout its 40 years, no men worked in the sales arm at the House of Mirelle. Mira's husband Percy had his name jointly over the door in 1952, but it was really owned by Mira, and long after she became the only director and Percy wasn't involved, in the 60s Molly took a portion of the shares to own the company as well. They were powerful women in the retail sector in Hull. Their menfolk not involved except as husbands and partners, and as you can see, Jimmy Kid went to social occasions with his wife Molly, dressed in black tie, a style of dress you'll hear about in the locations. Bill is in this fun photo of the showroom girls taken in November 1964, getting ready for a fashion show on a Nordic cross-channel ferry. He was one of the men very much in the background to the work the women carried out, which was described entirely as Mira's baby, her concern. Mira's husband Percy, Jimmy and Bill, as well as the girls' boyfriends, went round in a crowd and were often in and out of the shop. In these photos, you see men dressed traditionally in comparison with the glittering glamour of their partners' evening outfits. Do you think expectations of men's clothing was different from women's in the 60s? Let us know in the comments below.